All right, we got her hooked up. Everything looks good. Check all my connections, done check the lights. We've got the kayak in there. A little dusty, ain't nothing a little cave run water won't fix. Fishing pole, clothes, food's over there. Let's head to Kentucky.
We had fairly limited time with this just being a weekend trip, so the first thing we did when we got there is just put on some miles and try to find a good location to start the following day.
My favorite part is the back arch.
Yeah, you got it. Got a crow going.
At first I was like, oh. Tell you what, doesn't look too bad up here. Out here trying to put a bird to roost tonight. Head across a pretty fast running creek to get up here. So I'm trying to just get far enough away from that it doesn't mess with my ability to hear, but I like the looks of this a lot. It's pretty traversable too, so you know, we end up here tomorrow not hearing anything. If we can strike one up, we can move through it pretty quick. Sounds like it's about a sprinkle, so that might quite literally put a damper on things.
This went from a little bit of sprinkling to a much bigger problem pretty quickly.
So how's turkey hunting? That's how turkey hunt's going. Holy shit. That's hail. That's hail.
There's lightning hitting within like 200 yards of these things. They're chilling.
This turned out to be funny because everything was fine, but I mean this genuinely. Don't do that. If it's about the storm, just figure out turkey hunting in the morning. Don't try to stay there and put a bird to roost. The reason there's not a video of me running off that hillside is that crack of thunder you heard in Will's video was coinciding with the lightning that struck right beside me. Suffice it to say, lesson learned. Fortunately, everybody was fine, so we headed out the next morning in search of a bird in gray light.
Well, it's about 7:30. Been putting on the miles this morning. Heard a couple of birds way off, but the hailstorm and all that chased us out last night, so didn't get to put one to roost. We're hoping all the rain and everything just kind of has some quiet. Sun's up, maybe you can burn that moisture off and warm them up. We're pretty much down to walking around trying to strike one up now. They ought to be on the ground, so hopefully we can find the right bird that wants to play ball a little bit. To die.
Give us a little hoot, Aaron.
Huh?
I said, give us a little hoot.
Huh?
Let's go. That's pretty cool. That's broken off one. First shed of the year though. It's not bad. I wouldn't have thought I'd have found it on public land in Kentucky, but yeah. I'll make a nice knife handle one day.
I'd try it.
Down here for sure.
We should do scratching. I'm just not looking to go. Oh, and if it further up this, I'll have to pick up.
We weren't hearing much of anything, so we tried a couple of different setups just to see if maybe the birds were just being quiet and we could call one in that wasn't responding back. Unfortunately, we weren't finding any turkeys, but we did continue to find some other stuff.
Tell you what, we come down here looking for deer last fall, couldn't find any deer. Come here for turkeys in the spring, we at least know where the deer were. It's a pretty good sized shed.
We had to be out of our campsite later that morning, so at this point it was time to head back down, get packed up, and head home. But not being able to find any turkeys had Aaron wanting to come back, and with a much shorter drive than the rest of us, he returned the next weekend.
Alright guys, I came back down here to Kentucky by myself, and I just screeched and I heard a turkey way off that direction. I don't even know if I get it to go again or if the camera will pick it up. But I'm on the back side of this property that I didn't want to be. I was in a rush to get down here. I'd rather be up there closer where I can roost them. But I just wanted to see if there was a bird down here in this big bottom too. And one actually gobbled. So we'll see if I can get him to gobble again. Nothing, but that's okay. Alright, we're gonna try one more time from here. Now I'm gonna scoot back to the truck. I didn't even need to. He got one on his own. He's way out there. Way out there. That turkey. Oh, there's some cool owl audio for you guys. Folks, there are turkeys in Kentucky. I'm gonna sit right here. Ow! There's 3 or 4 different turkeys. I think this is the setup. Gotta do something here. I don't know if I'm gonna go up and around. I'll go back this way. Get down on that bench that he's on. I can't see him from here. I thought maybe I'd be able to see him. I could just shoot him from that tree, but I can't quite see him. It just pitches down a little more. I'm really surprised he went down there. I thought he would come right to us right here. But he's down there hammering. And while he's hammering, let me see if I can go. If I can go down this bench, or am I better off going off this point behind me and around?
Alright, so it's been, I don't know how many hours since I filmed something. It's been a hot minute, probably 3 or 4 hours since I even had the camera out. I never should have left that turkey this morning. He was hung up, and I don't think I turned the camera back on for it, but after I moved, I kind of swung around him and changed perspectives from where I was just to see if he would break there. And there were just 2 other birds behind me that were just lighting it up. So I walked the point out to them, and it just dropped straight down. So I was gonna run basically down from where I'd come from and then back up the other side because it wasn't quite as steep. I think I could do it a little bit faster and get above those turkeys, and then I could be able to drop down to them because that side wasn't nearly as steep. I could drop down to them as I needed to. Well, once I did that, I stood there for probably 5 minutes trying to come up with my plan and all that, and the bird that I was on walked through the saddle behind me and then walked up to the point on private. So I just sat there. Maybe if I had moved the other way, I'm not sure. You know, he may not have crossed by me in gun range, but I at least would have seen him, pretty sure. And he probably come past that tree in gun range. I would have just needed to flip around instead of sitting on it. I was sitting on the side of it. I can only see like 4 feet. So if he popped his head up there, he was going to be so close that I'm not sure what I would have done. But I come back to the truck, eat a sandwich. I have another spot pinned that's on the way home from here. And I don't know if I'm done or if I'll hit it. But if I haven't hit it, then I can say at least Kentucky has turkeys. Now, we didn't come away with one, but we got a whole lot more action for you guys this time than we did last weekend, so I guess that's nice. I don't know, we'll see. Depends on how I'm feeling. Maybe as I get up there, I'll start to be like, you know, I really would like to kill one, and I'll always stop by that spot and see if I can strike one up. Once those birds quit gobbling like 9 o'clock. Now I heard one more, long way off. I climbed all the way up the ridge, and as I got to the top of the ridge, there was a guy standing there, and he said he didn't hear the turkey. So I kind of second-guessed myself, even though I know for a fact it was a turkey. I just think where he was at, and the bird was off all the way on the end of the point, and I think he couldn't hear him from the top, but I could hear him from the opposing ridge. I don't know where that bird was by the time I got over there anyway. He could have been somewhere totally different. But I swung back around too. I did some blind calling. I just never had the camera on up there where the turkeys were at this morning. I think they've moved off onto private ground for now, and I don't have the time to sit down here and wait for them to come back at 6 o'clock, see if they work their way back to their roost. That's just that part of it that I was close to is, I mean, right on the private line. I was very bottlenecked in there, and that's part of the reason why I ended up leaving those turkeys, because I just didn't have anywhere to go. But if I could do anything differently, I think that's what I would do. Calling wise, I don't think, maybe I overcalled a little bit. I was not happy with how everything sounded. I must need to practice more. There was a lot of squeaks in there and stuff like that that shouldn't have been there. Maybe that made a difference, I don't know. But as far as sequencing and how many times I called, that's what, I don't think I overcalled necessarily. And it may be because of that turkey that spooked. I assume that was a hen. I heard it fly down. I never saw it, but I heard it fly down. I don't know if it could see me coming up the ridge, because I never saw it out of the corner of my eye, but it started putting right there at 25 yards, 30 yards, and I never did see it, but that that was when he really started gobbling, was when that bird started putting and I started cutting and yelping and stuff like that. He really got fired up. And that turkey just walked away. I don't know, I mean, maybe it was another tom that hadn't made any noise yet. You know, stayed silent because it could see me coming up the ridge. But, or Jake, it could have been a Jake. The putt sounded a little deeper, but I don't know, I'd have to go back and listen to it on the footage and see if I think it's a male bird or not. If it is a male bird, that's a shame. But, like I said, I was so bottlenecked from the private, I couldn't set back up any further or I would be on the private ground. So, it's what it is. We know there's turkeys here. Maybe we'll revisit it next year, something like that. It's always a possibility. For now, I'm going to finish my lunch, and this will probably be the end of 2024 Kentucky. But you never know. Maybe I'll get a second wind inside of me and want to stop on my way home, try to strike a bird up and kill it. We'll see. But Indiana season starts Wednesday, so that we will be hunting.